Joining us now here at Post 9 is John Lovallo, Senior U.S. Home Building and Building Products Equity Research Analyst at UBS. John, any thoughts on kind of what we could see from this big new plan that could impact affordability?
Thanks, Leslie. Yeah, so I think there's a few things. It could be short-term, intermediate, and then housing emergency. In the short term, we could utilize the GSEs to subsidize mortgages, to buy more MBS for their portfolio, and to reduce G fees. G fees could be 60 basis points on a loan, right? We could also reduce tariffs. It's $9,300 per home in tariffs, $2,500 on lumber alone. In the intermediate term, I think what could happen is you could influence folks, younger folks, to get more involved in the trades. That could be done through grants or through scholarships, things that will help rebuild the workforce, if you will. We could also start building on federal land, which the government has sort of teased, and cut down more lumber. And then in a housing emergency, I think this is the area where the feds could put more pressure on the states to kind of reduce restrictions on land requirements. Now, the problem is that a lot of this is decided at the local and municipal level, and NIMBYism is alive and well, and so it's tough to get these things to actually work. Yeah,
I was going to say, building on federal land, I mean, where would that be? Are those desirable places for people to live? Is there infrastructure? Is there running water? Is there electricity in some of the places that would even be possible, with the idea, of course, of kind of expanding supply to drive down housing prices?
That's a great point, and that's why it's more intermediary, because no, the infrastructure is not in place. These are a lot of in the southwest areas of the country where there's just nothing around. So it would take a lot of time to kind of get that built and ready to work on.
Now, a lot of the discussion has kind of centered on what rates means for this space. Does bringing down rates, as the president has pushed for, improve affordability for housing, or does it just drive housing back up because it's more affordable to get a mortgage?
It's an interesting question. I think it does, in fact, make housing more affordable. In fact, if you look very simplistically at the National Association of Realtors Affordability Index, anything over 100 suggests that the median income earner could buy a median home with an 80% LTV. If you were to put in today's mortgage rate versus the 5% that the builders are buying down to, makes a huge difference. Actually, at a 5%, it actually brings that back up to normalized levels, where average levels over time. So yes, it does help with affordability.